If you're just joining us, we're raising money for Project Share, which is a food bank, primarily a food bank, but they also have a hand in running a homeless shelter. They help people find jobs. They help people find childcare. They help people that are late on their bills. So it's a really good charity, does a lot of good work in the area. Over the years, we've raised over $80,000 for them, which I did the math on it. Just looking at it from a meals provided perspective, that would be over 577 meals provided. Or not meals, months worth of meals.
Also, Alpha Mario X, thank you for the resubscription, saying, Cirrus killing, no bullshit, X in the face. So, I am surprised...
Is no bullshit still around?
I am surprised that no bullshit hasn't uploaded any videos, because, like, this, just from a content creation perspective, right? This is a golden age of Nazi content creators.
Yes.
Like, he should be back solely because right now he would be in his full-on prime time.
Is he not back?
No, he's not made a video in 3 years.
Yeah, okay. ICE plans cash rewards for private bounty hunters to locate and track immigrants.
Bounty hunters? We don't need that scum.
Sorry, that was my first thought when I heard this, is that we are now at the point in the Star Wars universe where the government is hiring bounty hunters to hunt down the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
And like, I just did a rewatch of Andor not too long ago, and it only gets more and more relevant. And I fucking hate that it gets more and more relevant. It's so, like last time I watched it through, it was like, oh my God, this is so relevant to today. And this time I watched it through, I'm like, oh my God, it's so much more relevant than it was last time. And it's just like, oh, why did they have to do such a good job with it?
I need to finish Andor.
You haven't finished it?
It got lost in the sea of other things that we wanted to watch.
It's really good, but I can also understand why some people don't like it. Because it is... So, here's the thing. One of the reasons I think it's really good is because it doesn't do what a lot of shows are doing nowadays, where they are designing their show around the idea that you're going to be on your phone while you're watching it, so they have to, like, do extra exposition to bring you up to speed with the thing that you didn't see because you were playing Candy Crush. And, like, that stuff fucking drives me nuts. Like, season 2 of Wednesday, I fucking hated it. It was the worst. It's like, it was just like, it didn't trust the audience to notice anything. And Andor is a lot more subtle than that. You actually have to be watching it. And that, so I could see someone that is on their phone while they're watching TV not really liking it. But yeah, no, I love it. And it's a lot. So this is the thing, like, of Disney Star Wars stuff, when Rogue One came out, it was my favorite movie. And part of the reason for that was it felt like it was going back to the Star Wars roots almost. Like, tone-wise, it was very different. I mean, I guess it was similar to Empire. But things like...
It was much more space Western.
Yeah, like, things like being in hyperspace, it actually takes time to get from point A to point B. Whereas you get to the what is it, the sequel trilogy, you got the Millennium Falcon going like, boom, next planet, boom, next planet, boom, next planet, all within seconds. And you're like, okay, hyperspace was the time when you sit down, you're on your ship, and that's when you have some dialogue.
That's when you go to sleep.
What's going on. Not when you go to sleep, but like you talk about like things that are going on. You develop things that are about to happen.
Also, Zakub, thank you so much for the raid. Holy shit, what were you doing? So the reason I say that is I read a lot of the Star Wars books. I think I've read at least 70 of them now, like an absurd amount.
You just got rated though, so we got new people to tell to go donate to Project Share.
We do.
So go to donate.vicerhino.com and give to Project Share. We are $65 away from me having to put on a stupid Rhino onesie.
It's charity stream.
It's a charity stream.
In the books, anytime a character goes into hyperspace, yes, there's going to be times where they're like talking about what's going on, what's happening, but almost every time in the books, that's also the point in time where the character takes a nap. That's the point in time where they rest between events. Because in the books, you get more time to talk about the little things that people are doing in their day without it being a problem. Like, you're not beholden to the viewer's time as much. And that is one thing that I really like about novels, is I can see more of the world naturally, because the plot can sometimes just take a fucking backseat for a chapter, and that's okay.
Yeah. So Jacob S. donated $25 to say, in a time of uncertainty, here's some help. Thank you, Jacob. And then someone else donated $25.37 anonymously, just to annoy the folks who hate odd numbers. I apologize, but the charity fund collecting thing that I'm using doesn't actually show the pennies. So I see what you're going for, and I appreciate it. And we have raised a surprising amount of money in the past based entirely off of, hey, there's a bunch of pennies on the end. Someone needs to make it even. And then someone else will be like, no, I'm throwing more pennies at it. So that was fun. But unfortunately, the service we were with for that wasn't really working. And so I've just been using Canada Helps with which rounds to the nearest dollar.
Access just fucking space whales. I would never sleep in hyperspace. What about all the weird shit that happens in hyperspace?
Yeah. Hyperspace is exposition time. Yeah, it is. But like exposition in a way that feels more natural. Nachibri says, what's a penny? The government's getting rid of those. Yeah, my government already got rid of those. It's actually one of the weird things when I used to go to the States that I'd pay for things and that get a handful of copper and be like, what the fuck are these things? What am I going to do with a penny? Get this shit out of here. But yeah, so ICE is hiring bounty hunters.
No disintegration.
And there's no one in the government to actually tell them no disintegration, so I feel like it's not going to go well.
It's funny that ICE can plan cash rewards for bounty hunters when ICE is a government-funded organization, and they're planning all of this shit during a time where we can't pay our troops.
Oh, yeah.
We can't pay can't pay SNAP benefits. We can't pay anybody working in the government. We can't pay air traffic control. But don't worry. We can pay ICE. We can pay the Gestapo.
No, they're not the Gestapo. They're the brown shirts.
Sure. They all look the same to me, and the Nuremberg trials will probably treat them the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so companies that are hired by ICE will be given bundles of information on 10,000 immigrants at a time to locate, with further assignments provided in increments of 10,000 up to 1 million. That's a lot of people to just be like, hey, we need to kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you guys are already suffering economic consequences from the amount of deportations that are happening.
Dude, our agricultural industry has been completely fucked by this admin. Not only did we screw over all of our trade relations where we have to...
I found the Gary hat.
Not only did we screw over all of our trade relations where we exported a lot of our goods that were farmed in the United States, but we're also fucking over the actual farm hands by deporting them.
Mm-hmm.
And our construction industry, too. Our construction industry is getting fucked as well, because guess where the other place that a lot of people who immigrate here end up working? They work in construction.
Yep, they do. So the solicitation says ICE is exploring an incentive-based pricing structure to encourage quick results with monetary bonuses paid out based on performance. I feel like that is just asking for trouble. Now, to be clear, they're not hiring bounty hunters to actually detain immigrants. They're just hiring bounty hunters to find out where they live and work. So this isn't as bad as it could be, but that doesn't make it good. It is very bad. It is catastrophically bad. It is just not super catastrophically bad.
I mean, I feel like as people adjust to the new norm of, the water boiling ever closer, you're going to be hearing that word a lot as we get to what should be catastrophically bad, but people aren't going to treat it that way.
No, there's so much that is already catastrophically bad. So the proposal called for skip tracing, a method of using available information to locate people, something ICE is already handing out multi-million-dollar contracts for, according to the report. So this is something that I actually have a bit of experience with, because I don't know if you guys know, but I actually used to be a debt collector. Mm-hmm. By far the worst job I've ever had. It sucked the soul out of me. Every day you go in, it's the worst. Like that is the only...
You feel like you're predatory.
Yeah.
But there are some people who are built for that.
I was laid off from that job, and it's the only, like, my department was just eliminated. Like the contract went to a different company, and so they called everybody and be like, hey, yeah, no, your department doesn't exist anymore, so don't bother coming in. So like they called me on my day off to say, don't bother coming in, you don't have a department to work for anymore. And it's the only job I've ever been laid off or fired from where my reaction was like an immediate, like, yes! But part of the job was skip tracing. And like, we're talking, this is back like 2007-ish, like before smartphones were really a thing, that we didn't have phone data to track people with. And the tools I had access to were fucking scary.
And this was before you would have had more tools.
This, like, the tools that exist today are going to be so much scarier than what I had access to back in the day. And the kinds of people that work in these industries, when I was there, Google Maps was fairly new, like the satellite view and street view and shit. So some of the people that actually enjoyed their job somehow, one of the things they would brag about doing was like looking people's houses up on Google Maps and then like talking to them about their car or whatever, and be like, oh yeah, so this is your car, and it's the blue Chevy Venture or whatever the fuck. And just like to make them think they had a satellite feed on the house. So like, okay, now that I've scared you with that, you're going to pay your bill, right? So it's very smarmy, and I can absolutely see shit like that going down with these guys. It's like the people that actually do this for work, they're not good people.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that because I used to do that for work. I worked with a lot of them. It's actually the reason I was in the department that got eliminated is because I wasn't very good at the third-party collections, so they moved me to first-party collections, which, if you're not familiar, that's what, like, if you don't pay your credit card for a month, then your bank calls you and says, hey, you forgot to pay last month. Can you please pay? And then you say, oh, shit, I just forgot. Sure, I'll pay. And you pay. That's first-party collections. Third-party collections is, hey, you haven't paid for 9 months. That debt has now been charged off. The bank doesn't own it anymore. They sold it to the debt collection agency, and now we're coming after you with everything because that is the only way we're going to make money. We paid money to have your information brought over to us. Now the only way for us to make that profitable is to collect money from you.
And then you get the guy whose entire job is to remind that agency that once you've bought that debt, there are several ways to consider it legally invalid. At least
those are the people that we hated.
Yeah. I know you hated those people.
I was hired for third party, so those are the ones that are like, no, you need to pay your bill right now or we're going to file charges. Or like, they do shit that is illegal all the time, but because most people don't know their rights, they don't report them. So that's where I was hired. But I was so bad at that because I actually have empathy that they then transferred me over to the first party collections, which is just the more general, like, hey, you forgot to pay your bill this month. Can you please pay it? Can I just mark you down as like you're going to pay next week?
I remember when I was working for a call center, and there was a girl on the other line whose brother was in the ICU, and I was not allowed to get off the phone line until we had done our pitch because that's what the rules were. And when I'd gotten to the point where I was like, no, you are in distress. I do not need to be on the phone with you. And I got a fucking write-up for that. And I explained in my email, like, I have a moral problem with this. And my fucking manager sent the email back to me saying, you shouldn't have a moral problem with this. And I'm like, and I'm just like, bitch, you don't get to decide that. I'm sorry,
but also, yes, you should.
In every way, shape, and form, that is not for you to decide.
It's like, yeah, no, dealing with hospital shit is not the time to try and sell duct cleaning.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I still had access to my work email for that, because I did not have the kind of confidence that I have now when I was dealing with that.
Shit.
I would love to fight that shit now. Oh, by the way, it's onesie time.
Yeah, it's onesie time. We're at 6:04. Oh, let's see who donated.
Go get dressed, little man.
Yeah.
And that means that I'll just be covering this for now anyway. But yeah, that shit disgusts me because I've dealt with that, not the industry that Rhino dealt with, obviously, but I've dealt in that kind of like calls industry where they try to get everybody on the hook for shit, and you are treated like a robot in that industry. And so just having to deal with this shit, seeing that ICE is gonna be trying to recruit even more people to do that, like the same shit, but far more aggressively. It's disgusting. It's gross. And I don't want my tax dollars to fund it. In fact, actually, there's a video going around about not paying your taxes as a protest to the government as it is existing right now, because we don't want our taxes going to shit like that. I need to go find that video, and I think we're going to watch it on stream together, because that's a conversation we just need to be having more often right now, in general. I obviously cannot legally give financial advice, but I can certainly say that there are statements that I agree with generally. Also, welcome back.
So, yeah. Thank you, everyone, to getting us to $604. What do we do if we raise another $500?
Well, I already have to go into my onesie, so let's see here.
If we get another $100, Cyrus will give us an uwu.
Uwu. That's not what I said. I didn't
He will
agree
give
to
us
that.
a happy uwu.
I didn't agree to that either. In fact, actually, that's an even worse version of what I didn't agree to. Like, I already didn't agree to that shit.
Okay, how much money do we have to raise to feed hungry people that are in desperate need of food for you to give us a happy uwu?
I know better than to give you an answer.
I need an answer.
I know you don't.
Yes, we do.
No,
what number do we need to hit?
No, you need money. You want an answer. Let's be fair here. Let's be honest about the situation.
It's for a good cause, Cyrus.
I understand it's for a good cause.
You gave so many uwus last week because somebody just watched your channel for a long time.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm perfectly willing to ignore the fact that I read Christmas Story right now. I'm willing to do that.
I'm just asking for one single happy uwu.
Yeah.
It can't be that hard.
Look, you have no idea with this audience how hard things can get.
Just tell me. Donate.vicerunner.com. How much money do we need to raise there before you give an actual happy uwu? Give me a number.
Life's better when I don't.
Not for the people who need food. You are withholding food from people's mouths.
Yes.
You're a Republican. You're a fucking Republican.
You know what? In this instance, I'm willing to die on that hill.
Oh.
Gideon Wells says, but Cyrus, cry face. Don't fucking but Cyrus crying face me. Fuck off.
I will butt Cyrus your cry face.
You will not butt anything. Not an Enderman says, Cyrus would never. Yeah, that's the fucking villain.
Cyrus is a Republican.
Fennec says 10 million.
Secular Storm Chaser says full goal tonight. I feel like that would be, if we hit the full goal tonight, I feel like you have to. $15,000 in one night? There's no way you can say no to that.
I don't think I could say no to that. I don't think I could. Bravo says, you gonna take that, Cyrus? I will stand on my principles.
I'm just picturing you standing on a bunch of carcasses of your, like, elementary and high school principals.
I mean, one of them was the principal of Pensacola Christian Academy. You know, make of that what you will.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was not saying whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so if we get to 15,000, Cyrus will give us an uwu, and a happy one. I don't hold out much hope for that, but I would love it if you guys prove me wrong. I feel like the number should be lower too, but apparently Cyrus is a Republican. He likes withholding
Jesus
food from hungry
fucking
people.
Christ. Up the shut fuck.
I thought maybe somebody redeemed an uwu, because that would also have been funny at this moment.
Life's better when they don't.
I just dropped all my SD cards on the floor.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.